The spotlight on the suspended EFCC chairman Ibrahim Magu shines even brighter as more facts about the presidential panel set up by President Muhammadu Buhari is gradually coming to the end of its time frame for the probe. We dissect the issues before them tonight. And the president and governors of the Northeast region have met today over the issues of insurgency in the Northeast region of the country and how to quell the wave of Boko Haram war in the region. Hello everyone and welcome to the program. This is Politics Today live on Channels Television. I'm Sean Kimaloye in Lagos. Well, the headache of Boko Haram insurgency in the Northeast region of the country is becoming more than worrisome. And President Buhari today met with governors of the Northeast states behind closed doors out of presidential villa in Abuja, where they concluded that winning the war on insurgency in the region will require the joint efforts of government at all levels. The meeting also had in attendance all the service chiefs, the National Security Advisor, the Inspector General of Police, and the heads of intelligence agencies. Governor Zulum reiterated his call that the military needs more equipment to effectively tackle the insurgency in the region.
I assure you that the government is doing its best. I assure you, Northeast governors, especially the governor of Borno, that we go to bed and we wake up thinking about you and how to secure our country, because that is the fundamental responsibility of a government, security.
Not only about federal government, there's need for the federal government as well as the states and the local government to come together with a view for foreign solutions that will end this crisis in the region. But most importantly, there's war economy in the region, and I think that is why we are here. So I think the government is taking a bold step with a view to ensuring speedy resolution of some of the gray areas that we have in the region.
Well, that's said about the issue of the Northeast security in the country. Let's check out some of your other stories on our political roundup.
The Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja has reinstated Advanced Congress of Democrats, Progressive People's Alliance, and 20 other political parties deregistered by the Independent National Electoral Commission. In a unanimous decision, the court declared as illegal, unconstitutional, null and void the judgment of the Federal High Court upholding the Independent National Electoral Commission's action deregistering the political parties. A group, National Consultative Front, is unhappy with the insecurity, high unemployment rate, collapse of social infrastructure, amongst others, that confront the nation. At a press conference today, one of the leaders of the group, former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Gali Naba, is of the opinion that the political class has not been able to rise up to the challenge, hence the need for urgent political action where citizens will be able to meet their basic needs.
The general feeling across the land today is that of delusion, hopelessness, and helplessness. The agony and anguish of Nigerians about the deplorable state of our nation is palpable and worrisome. The feeling also on the part of many Nigerians is that the days ahead as a country are numbered.
The Ondo State Deputy Governor, Mr. Agbola Ajayi, continues as he has resigned his membership of the People's Democratic Party. This is happening barely 2 months after he joined the party when he defected from the All Progressives Congress under controversial circumstances. Mr. Ajayi's resignation from the PDP is confirmed in a statement from his media advisor, Mr. Alan Showore. Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State is raising an alarm over an alleged plot by the All Progressives Congress to disrupt the Edo governorship election through violence. He is warning the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, not to play into the hands of the ruling party. Governor Wike, who is the chairman of the PDP National Campaign Council, insists that the election must be about issues and character.
Thank you so much, everyone. Let's get to it. On the business of our conversation tonight, our attention is on the issues of corruption. We begin with the story of the Ministry of Justice and the Attorney General of the Federation, Mr. Abubakar Malami SAN, who has written to the President denying the allegations of corruption leveled against him. This follows a call from a coalition of civil society organizations asking President Buhari to probe the AGF over 14 high-profile corruption cases and calling for his resignation. Among the allegations leveled against the AGF, the CSO had listed financial fraud and influence peddling, as well as illegally auctioning sea vessels holding crude oil seized by the federal government. However, the minister explained that he needed to write to the presidency in order to clear his name, insisting that he had cleared all his assets, and he declared, rather, all his assets and statements of accounts upon his assumption of office. He writes, and quote, "Since my appointment as a minister in your cabinet, I have conducted myself strictly within the confines of the Code of Conduct for Public Officers contained in Part 1 of the 5th Schedule of the 99th Constitution of Nigeria as amended." End of quote. End of quote. He adds that it is to be noted that apart from my successful legal practice of more than 20 years, 7 of which were as a senior advocate of Nigeria SAN before my appointment, I have, as allowed by law, had interest in business ventures, all of which I had resigned from active participation upon my appointment. End of quote. The AGF says in his letter that he has also decided to seek redress in court. As the AGF is explaining himself, Mr. Magu, who the AGF petitioned against, is also explaining himself. But there may be some concerns this time around, especially with some of the facts now coming forward on the details of the setting up of the panel by President Buhari to investigate Mr. Ibrahim Magu, who was suspended as the EFCC chairman. In a matter of days, the panel led by a retired Judge Justice Ayo Salami is due to submit his report. In a letter cited by Channels Television, the president had on the 3rd of July directed a judicial commission of inquiry to investigate an alleged financial impropriety and mismanagement of recovered asset leveled against Mr. Magu. The commission was mandated to conduct a public sitting on the activities of the commission since 2015. The letter inaugurating the panel, which was signed by President Buhari, gave the commission 45 days from his first public sitting to complete his investigation of the suspended EFCC boss. By the July 3rd date of the president's letter, the commission is expected to submit its report on or before August 16, 2020. That's going to be in 6 days' time. But there are concerns raised over the activities of the panel based on the procedure and law guiding how it was set up. And that's our focus tonight on the program. I have joining me in our Abuja studio, Mr. Osuagu Ugochukwu. Mr. Osuagu Ugochukwu is a member of the Presidential Committee on Administration of Criminal Justice. He's a lawyer. Thank you so much, Mr. Ugochukwu, for your time tonight. Let's begin the conversation. If you look at the premise on which the president in that letter, it was supposed to be a public hearing, but it has since that panel, to our understanding, has not held any single public hearing. Is that against the directive of the president or against the tribunal, the Inquiry Act that was used in setting up that committee?
Thank you for having me. Well, if you look at the, based on the Tribunals Inquiry Act of 2004, tribunals of this nature are not bound to be open to the public. Why do I say so? The proceedings or the ongoing investigation by the panel is merely a fact-finding panel. and has nothing to do with, it is not criminal in nature. It is not a trial. And thus, there is no basis for saying that the tribunal should conduct its sittings in the public glare. And of course, if you look at the Act itself, the Tribunals Inquiry Act, if you read Section 4 and Section 5 of the Act, it is clear there that the tribunal can regulate its own proceedings, subject to what the facts available to them at that point. So I don't see anywhere the tribunal has violated a provision of the Act. And besides, they have 45 days on what you have read on the President's letter, that 45 days conduct this inquiry. And we have about, if I'm not mistaken, about 2 weeks more to go. Why not allow the tribunal to conclude and see if, at the end of the day, there are possibilities of inviting certain persons and making it open. But as per the position of the law, tribunals of inquiries are not meant to be public based on the facts before them.
Okay, so let me read. It is not what we think, it is perhaps the fact. Let me read portion, the extract of the letter as transmitted, or the letter written by the president, and I quote part of that letter. The president said in that letter, quote, "I hereby direct the Judicial Commission to submit its interim reports to me from time to time, but the Judicial Commission shall in any case submit its final report not later than 45 days from the date of its first public sitting, or within such extended period as may be authorized by me in writing." So the president had, in that letter of the 3rd of July, indicated that there should be a public sitting.
Yes, you are quoting from the letter, and I'm also saying that from the Act itself, Tribunals Inquiries Act, that they are not bound to be open to the public. The most important thing there is that the panel gives the Magu access to his legal practitioners of his choice. And I have not heard that Magu has complained that the tribunal has not allowed him to have access to the sitting, nor for him to come to the sittings with his lawyers. Like I said before, that you stated so that there are 45 days to conclude the inquiry. It is not 45 days yet. So let us allow the tribunal to do their work. For now, as far as I'm concerned, they have not violated anything because they are still within the time frame of 45 days.
No, but okay. So it's a bit confusing what the way you're explaining it, because if there is a mandate for it to conduct a sitting publicly, journalists are not allowed to cover it. It's a mandate by the president. It's a presidential directive that it should conduct a sitting publicly. And you said there's nothing wrong in that. Could it also, well, one of the allegations raised from the other side of the divide is the fact that Mr. Magu has not been presented with petitions against him officially.
Well, I quite understand the angle you're coming from as to the issue of the public sitting. But I still maintain that, and you agree with me, that the tribunal, according to the instrument from the presidency, has 45 days. But we have not exhausted the 45 days. I'm not aware that Magu has not been seized or provided with the facts or allegations against him. I'm hearing it for the first time that he has not been given those documents. But the point still remains that whether the petitions are given to him in black and white, the most important thing is that you should have the facts of the petitions, allegations against him. That is no law that requires you to see black and white the petitions written by persons or agencies or bodies against a particular person. But the facts can be brought before you. I think that is the most important thing there.
Okay, so we're looking at fairness and transparency in the process of this investigation. So when we come back from the break, also, we'll let our viewers know the members of that, aside Justice Salami, who are the others in that panel. We'll show you the details of the membership of the panel probing Mr. Magu and the EFCC. That's going to be after this break, everyone. Join us again. Welcome back, everyone. It's a matter when the man that was in charge of anti-corruption war is now the man who is under the spotlight and under scrutiny on the issues of allegations of corruption, Mr. Ibrahim Magu, and the panel investigating the EFCC over the last 5 years is what gets us talking tonight, everyone. Let's get back to the conversation. How did we get to this point? Take a look at this timeline of Mr. Magu and the journey. The 58-year-old Mr. Magu, who joined the Nigerian police in 1990 and was appointed as the EFCC chairman in November 9, 2015. And the Senate refused at some point to confirm him, and that is in 2016 as the EFCC chairman. On the 3rd of July, President Buhari was said to have written a letter appointing Justice Salami as chairman of the panel to probe the EFCC under him from 2015. On the 6th of July, Mr. Magu was arrested and presidential probe panel begins grilling. And on the 10th of July, presidency affirms Mr. Magu's suspension as the acting chairman of the EFCC. 10 days after his arrest, he was released. That is on 15th of July, 2020. I told you I was going to show you the membership of those who are probing the FCC under Mr. Magu from 2015 to be led by Justice Ayo Salami. We understand that they've been sitting for over 30 days now for a 45-day window for them to look into the matter. Justice Ayo Salami is the chairman of that. Anthony Michael is the deputy chairman. Kasim Atitebi is the secretary. Let's get back to the conversation. I've been speaking with Mr. Ugochukwu, who is a member of the Presidential Committee on Administration of Criminal Justice. And now I'm being joined from the Abuja studio by Mr. Aliyu Lemu. He's one of the lawyers to Mr. Ibrahim Magu. Let me begin the conversation this time around with Mr. Lemu. Mr. Lemu, thank you so much for joining us. We began the conversation just before you arrived in the studio. And Mr. Ugochukwu said there is nothing wrong with, for example, the mandate of the president that mandated the committee to sit publicly. Do you have any objection to that?
Well, we do not have any objection. In fact, that is what we have been calling for since this panel started sitting on the issue of its investigation. But as I sit here and I speak to you, it was only on Saturday, the 8th of August, that Mr. Magu was officially given the mandate of the committee as stipulated by the president, including its terms of reference. And up until this moment, he has not officially been faced with any allegation of any wrongdoing until he received a copy of the terms of reference of the committee. The last time I was here, I apologize for brushing the entire media with one brush. But I would like to use this opportunity to thank you, Mr. Seun, for putting this issue on the front burner always. They had wanted to put Mr. Magu through a public trial. And we have resisted, we have demanded that the basic minimum our constitution requires or guarantees every citizen of Nigeria is the right to fair hearing. Before any decision affecting the right of any individual can be taken, he should be given a right of fair hearing. But respectfully, it is sad to observe that the committee, contrary to its terms of reference, which was signed by Mr. President on the 3rd of July, directing it to hold public sittings, the committee was holding its sittings in the privacy of the Aso Villa, where members of the 4th Estate, the media, had no access. One of the guarantees of a fair trial is that there must be access, there must be public access, especially by the members of the 4th Estate who will report the incidents that happened before the committee fairly and without prejudice to any of the parties
Mr.
involved.
Mr. Lemu, let me, if I may quickly cut in to find out just one thing. You said officially he has been given the petition against him. And what are the allegations leveled against him?
Not a petition. It is actually the terms of the reference of the committee as constituted by Mr. President.
What about the allegations, the petition? Has the petition been given to him?
By Mr. President.
Has he been served with a petition?
Not a petition. Not a petition, terms of reference of the committee.
No, but okay. So let's clarify. Terms
And
of
this is what
reference.
Mr. President
Does he
said in
have,
setting up the
Mr. Lemu,
committee.
just a moment. Does Mr. Magu, has he been served the allegations leveled against him? Because that's one of the allegations that, look, the committee has not presented him with allegations against him.
Exactly, sir. He has not been served with any copy of any allegation. What happened on the 8th of August, which is a Saturday, was that for the first time in its entire sittings, the committee made available to Mr. Magu the terms of reference under which Mr. President appointed the members of the committee to hold their investigative activities. And these are their terms of reference. The terms of reference are as follows: that Judicial Commission shall inquire into the following. 1, the extent of mismanagement and diversion of recovered assets and funds. 2, investigation into the abuse of office and non-compliance with official directives. Number 3, audit of the account of the EFCC as a legal entity in line with Public Service Rules, EFCC Act, and other extant laws. Number 4, investigation into personal enrichment with the assets recovered. And lastly, the committee was requested by Mr. President to make recommendations, make appropriate recommendations concerning each person, authority, and organization investigated by the Judicial Commission, and what judicial or administrative measures, if any, should be taken to recover the misappropriated fund and assets. These are the terms of reference of the committee.
Mr. Lemu,
So there
quickly,
isn't any
just if you
allegation,
can you tell us, does Mr. Magu have any problem with the manner in which the panel has conducted itself?
Yes, very well, sir. We have a lot of problem with the way the committee has conducted itself. Contrary to the terms of reference, whereby the president requested that the committee holds public hearing, the committee sat in the privacy of the presidential villa without confronting Mr. Magu with any allegation, but rather has been inviting people who are under prosecution by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to come and give prejudicial evidence to against Mr. Magu.
Let me allow Mr.
Number 2,
Ugochukwu, just a moment, Mr. Lemu. Let me allow Mr. Ugochukwu to react to this. Mr. Ugochukwu, you heard what Mr. Lemu said there as to the grievance on the conduct of the panel.
Well, it is quite unfortunate that, honestly, if I were the man himself, I would be grateful to the president for allowing me to serve this country for 5 years, even on acting capacity. His position there as EFC chairman acting has been unlawful. This is somebody occupying the position that, that is devoid of a legal coloration and tainted with illegality, coming to complain about not being served with petitions written by persons. You cannot. It is not even compulsory that you must have copies of petitions written by persons against you. It's for the safety, for instance, it could be for the safety of the petitioners. The most important thing is that you have the facts confronted with you. The facts be brought brought to your notice, and these are the things that they want you to respond to. But he is saying that, I'm yet to clarify that or confirm that from the panel, that Magu does not have the details of the allegations against him. But what we've seen is lawyers responding on various pages of newspapers on various allegations which they've been confronted in the panel. I don't know if those newspaper reports are false. So where did the Magu's lawyer get those facts they were debunking on the pages of newspapers? About, for instance, a particular lawyer sent that allegation of a lawyer sending money, a lawyer being paid a certain amount of money, a pastor receiving a certain amount of money. Where did he get those facts from?
All right,
I leave it to them.
We need to close the program because we're out of time. But let me allow Mr. Lemu, within the next 30 seconds that we have left on the program, to quickly react to those allegations you raised. We just have 30 seconds left, Mr. Lemu, if you can shoot and react to those issues.
Yes, and I shoot straight. You see, with respect to part of the major issues this committee was set up to investigate is the issue of allegation of enrichment of other people or misappropriation of recovered loot. And one of the prominent issues to feature was the fact that the sum of 570 million was transferred to Pastor Omale, the one Prophet Omale. But the bank has come, FCMB has come to say, no, there wasn't such transfer. What happened was that the bank made a wrong posting on an entry while migrating from one platform to the other. Came and tendered
out of time,
unreserved apology before the committee.
I'm being told that
Mr.
we need to close the program now. Thank you so much, Mr. Lemo. I wish we have more time. Well, thank you so much for coming tonight, Mr. Ugochukwu. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts for us and to us on the program tonight. Thank you so much, gentlemen. But that's our show for tonight. Many thanks for watching. Bye-bye.